All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another live stream while we try and cover everything possible that is happening in this managerial search fiasco. Late yesterday, UK time, David Ornstein decided to drop an absolute bombshell. Now, I don't know how to take this. Without further ado, let's not even worry about dilly-dallying. Let's get straight in on the act. And this is what David Ornstein has tweeted out late yesterday, UK time, roughly around, I'd say, close to 11 p.m. Exclusive, Chelsea no longer considering Kieran McKenna as next head coach. I think, look, as much as I probably believed that it was going to be Kieran McKenna, it just kind of looked like it was going to be him. He was the ideal selection from a data standpoint. And you'd think that he would also qualify for that yes man title as well. But look, surely enough, he wasn't considered. Maybe he wasn't considered at all from the beginning. Who knows? I mean, there was reports that perhaps he was waiting on an offer from Chelsea because Brighton has offered him a particular role as well. Who knows? Maybe he's going to Brighton. So look, the bottom line is Kieran McKenna as next head coach is not happening. We're not considering him. 38-year-old and early favorite, plus admired by Chelsea. So he was an early favorite. There you go. David Ornstein has said it. Plus admired by Chelsea, but not among final candidates as process approaches conclusion. So up until there, I was like, well, that's stock standard. That's pretty nice. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be Roberto De Zerbi. Then boom, here's the bombshell, ladies and gentlemen. Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank. Now, only known options remaining. Only known. Now, I don't know. A lot of people are saying, Ms., this is the only known. Maybe there's an unknown candidate around the corner. Look, I completely thought that Roberto De Zerbi was probably in the bag. It's going to happen. Everything was sort of leading towards Roberto De Zerbi. Eghbali apparently likes Roberto De Zerbi. Now, how much I want to believe that, I'm not really sure. I don't know who's the bad side here. Is it the owners? Is it the directors? Apparently, the directors are leaning more towards Enzo Maresca. Joe Shields obviously put in a good word. Thomas Frank, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, what is Thomas Frank doing in this list? Let's talk about Thomas Frank first before we talk about Enzo Maresca and Roberto De Zerbi. Ruben Amorim has been ruled out. Fabrizio Romano has said he's not in the running. He's been ruled out. Now, whether we've rejected him or he rejected us, that is still a debate to be had. A lot of people are saying that he probably rejected us. He probably saw the craziness that's taking place at Chelsea Football Club, and he said, you know what? Yeah, this is not for me. I'm out of here. Let's talk about Thomas Frank. What is, honestly, guys, am I missing something? Live chat, nearly 200 of you guys are live after 3.5 minutes. Am I missing something? Are you guys missing something? What is Thomas Frank doing in this list? In the final two, apparently, the only known two. What is this guy doing there, first of all? As far as I'm concerned, as far as the matches I've seen Brentford play, it's not like Brentford's completely trashed. Like they can play out of the back, but it's not their norm. That's not what they do. 3 at the back football, lots of midfielders, 3 up front or 2 up front, and they really rely on counter-attacking and physicality. Long balls, not on a regular basis, but they do like the long ball approach where, you know, Ivan Toney or Mbeumo or even Wissa, they can win those duels, and they really battle hard for the second balls as well. So it's not like they really play intricate football through the middle. They want to play a little bit more direct. They do like to counterattack, and they do, most times will try and press you, not from the front, but when you're in their half, they will try and press and try and win the ball so that they can launch a counter. You will not see too many times Brentford really building up smoothly from the back. You will not see too many times them, putting on some really lovely passing sequences through the middle to then get into the final third. It's more direct. So how is this guy actually in the running for the job for Chelsea Football Club when our owners and our board have categorically said we want to play good football, we want to play more controlled football? The only reason I can think of that Thomas Frank's in the list is because we got their set piece coach. That's the only reason I can think why Thomas Frank is potentially linked. And I get it. If from the get-go, ever since our owners took over, they've admired Brentford a lot. They have seriously admired Brentford. They've publicly said that we admire Brentford. We like the way they run. I'm pretty sure they like Thomas Frank. Every single time we sack a manager or we part ways with a manager, Thomas Frank is there. His name is always there. But it doesn't make sense to me, man. It absolutely does not make sense to me. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Thomas Frank situation before we talk about Enzo Maresca, who I think is now turning out to be a bit of a favorite. We'll see what happens. Heard you saying Thomas Frank is a massive data freak. Is that the reason why? Perhaps. Alhambra saying they love the Moneyball model. Perhaps that's probably also another reason Thomas Frank can work in a structure. Yep, I guess a yes man. Yeah, more or less. They have the audacity to say the manager have worked highest level in England. Thomas Frank, I get like, what's his highest level? I suppose the highest level is the Premier League. So I think they probably mean from that perspective. I don't know if they really mean that highest level as in managing a top club. Not necessarily. I think just the level, top level, which is the Premier League. And this is probably the probably the reason why McKenna is out of the race, because he hasn't managed at the highest level. Royston, the problem is that Chelsea ownership is a mess. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Way too many. And this is a problem. Someone likes Thomas Frank, someone likes Enzo Maresca, and someone likes Roberto De Zerbi. You can't run the show like this, man. Everyone has their own little vision, their own little agendas, their own little opinion. How are you actually going to come to a unanimous decision? How will you even agree? How can you even agree? It is a problem. Too many cooks in the kitchen. It is a huge, huge problem. Now, let's talk about Enzo Maresca. So Enzo Maresca's name, ladies and gentlemen, is now, it seems like he is the favorite. And Max has been talking about this quite a lot. We'll take you to Max's page. Max has been saying, I reckon they've picked Enzo Maresca. They'll deny that we were ever in for De Zerbi. That's why ORNSTEIN said only him and Frank left. Max also goes on to say, going to get really tense. I feel sporting directors will decide on who they want and then present it to Iqbali. Will Iqbali choose his own man? Will he take the advice of the directors? I think it's wrong to presume Winstanley loves Roberto De Zerbi, or he would have been the favorite from the start. I find it strange. Winstanley, you'd think, would favor Roberto De Zerbi, knowing that Winstanley is the one that I'm pretty sure hired Roberto De Zerbi was part of the recruitment when he was around at Brighton. I have no indication on who they choose, but I feel it's one of Roberto De Zerbi or Maresca. Both have a style of play that suits the squad, but I have a bad feeling Roberto De Zerbi's character and fiery nature may swing it in the favor of Maresca. I hope not anyway. Joe Shields put a good word in for Maresca. He's worked under Pep, which I'm sure they'll like, and he has relations already to Palmer and Lavia. He's got a lot going for him in this managerial race. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about Enzo Maresca? Give me your honest thoughts about Enzo Maresca. It looks like it might be Enzo Maresca. Now, I understand he has a very controlled type of football. He is a possession-based football philosophy manager. Obviously comes from the school of Pep Guardiola. So he would know exactly how to control games. The squad might be suited to him as well. Absolutely. I mean, our owners got so worried about Enzo Fernandez They wanted to make sure that they got a manager that also has the name Enzo in it as well. Like, Enzo, we are getting you Enzo. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to try and sort you out. But it just worries me that Enzo Maresca, he's never managed in the Premier League. And is this a jump a bit too much and too quick? I really want Roberto De Zerbi. I absolutely want Roberto De Zerbi. But I know a lot of you guys you don't mind Enzo Maresca as well. So I'm happy to hear you guys out. I'm absolutely happy to hear you guys out. Haj, philosophy-wise, he suits the squad and was an assistant at an elite institution. But the jump is big. It is 100% big. And is he going to be able to compete against some of those managers? That is something to be looked at. He did just finish. I mean, let's have a quick look how Championship finished. Championship table. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Leicester 97 points, Ipswich 96. So he just finished a point above. Goal differences were very good. Obviously scored quite a lot of goals, conceded less. Goal difference is good. 31 wins, 4 draws, 11 losses. Ipswich only had 6 losses. 11 losses is quite a lot. I know Ipswich ended up having 12 draws, but they only had 6 losses. That means they were harder to beat. And Leicester, for me, ladies and gentlemen, like, they had a Premier League team already. It's not a surprise that they've come out on top in that division. But I don't want to take anything away from him. I mean, it's still a good feat to be able to win the Championship. But for me, this jump, it's a bit too much. Honestly, I feel like it's a bit too much. Roberto De Zerbi at least has some form of experience in this highest level of the Premier League. Tariq, to be honest, we chose De Zerbi because he is the best option on the list, but there is no elite manager as an option. Well, they don't want elite managers. Why isn't there elite managers in the list? Why? Who's stopping them? Who is stopping our owners, our board, to get elite managers? They themselves don't want it. That's how it is. Sam Miz, are we an example of a total banter club? I mean, out of all the options, the best we can do is Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank. I'm worried about the future of this club. We might get wiped out of the map. Look, this is why. Look, I don't know. Maybe Maresca might just work out. I'm not really sure. But at least with De Zerbi, me personally, I just thought that that's the kind of manager you want to back, and it will turn around nice eventually enough, if not from the get-go. Enzo Maresca, we just have to hope. I just hope that it's not Thomas Frank. I'm worried that all of a sudden RKO from our owners and our directors, and before you know it, it's probably Thomas Frank. I'm now scared that we can't even probably disregard Thomas Frank. How's he made it through this late? How's he not eliminated already? T1, big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. With Enzo, it's going to be like, give it time, probably another 6th place finish. With De Zerbi, I feel he will build upon Poch like he did build upon Potter. Yeah, look, you'd want to say that, yeah, De Zerbi, the expectations a little bit more, but at the same time, if he doesn't meet those expectations just by a whisker or, just by a small margin, then you'd still want to stick around. If it's a drastic failure, then of course you'd have to think about letting him go. But you still had a little bit of hope that, yeah, with De Zerbi, maybe top 4 is something gettable. With Enzo Maresca, you can't put any crazy expectations. He's never managed at this level. How can you put a crazy expectation? It's just not right. It's absolutely not right. So the owners will be on the board of directors. If the manager fails, for argument's sake, then it should be the sporting directors that should be on the line. it should be the owner that should take all the accountability. With Enzo Maresca, you're going to have to probably think, yeah, perhaps a sixth finish, top six finish. Anything above that is a bonus. That's how I look at it, man. That's how I look at it. All right, let's have a quick look at that article from David Ornstein, because let's try and get an understanding. I've got a subscription with The Athletic. Kieran McKenna no longer under consideration for Chelsea head coach job. The article goes something like this. Chelsea's process to appoint a new head coach is rapidly approaching a conclusion, with the club no longer considering Kieran McKenna among a small number of final candidates for the role. That leaves Leicester City's Enzo Maresca and Brentford's Thomas Frank as the only known options remaining to take over. I think he's playing something here. I really do think David Ornstein is playing something here. That leaves, as Alhambra said, I think Alhambra, my brother is in the house. Big up to Alhambra. As Alhambra said in one of the tweets that I retweeted, that this isn't about what is it exactly that Alhambra said? He said something really nice. Important to understand Ornstein's article on Chelsea search. Hold on, let me see. There was a really, really good reply that Alhambra made. Let me see if I can get that. Or maybe Alhambra, you can just comment. Here we go. Yeah. No, I haven't. So you said something really, really. Here we go. This is an article of subtraction, not addition. De Zerbi is still on, bro. Read the article carefully. There you go. Yeah, that's what Alhambra said. It's an article of subtraction, not addition. So I don't know. Maybe Ornstein's just saying that with McKenna gone and with what we know, Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank are the only known options. But how doesn't he not know about De Zerbi? Yesterday, De Zerbi news was everywhere. Roberto De Zerbi was the fourth person in the list. Every reporter was reporting on it. How has he not acknowledged that? That's what I find it quite strange. McKenna became an early favorite to succeed Maurizio Pochettino after guiding Ipswich Town to the Premier League, having secured promotion from League One in his first full season at the helm 12 months earlier. It encouraged Chelsea to enter talks with the 38-year-old Northern Irishman plus other potential contenders, and they are said to respect him enormously as he continues to forge a superb early career in the dugout. But despite their clear admiration for McKenna, the hierarchy at Stamford Bridge have narrowed the possibility down to a select group that does not feature the former Manchester United assistant. Their search is being driven by Chelsea's co-sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, feeding into the ownership, all of whom are thought to be aligned on the impending decision. Pochettino departed following a review into the 2023-2024 campaign, which ended with sixth place finish and European qualification. McKenna previously spent 5 years at Manchester United, first as United under-18s coach before being part of Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's backroom staff. He took over at Ipswich in December 2021 from Paul Cook. So, what does he comment over here? Oh, yeah. Nah, that's just some old tweet. So, I don't know, man. Why isn't Ornstein talking about De Zerbi at all? Honestly, if it's between Maresca and Thomas Frank, I hope it's Enzo Maresca. I truly do hope it's Enzo Maresca, man. I was going to say Endo. Enzo Maresca. I was going to say Endo. I truly hope it's Endo. Milo K, big up to you. Good to see you on the live chat. Honestly, I'm getting frustrated. Let them pick any of these trash managers they want and let see if finance-wise they will last. Keep making stupid decisions. Third year into the reign. Low. Look, if it's Enzo Maresca, they're gonna have to stay honest with him. Like they're gonna have to keep him. This is it. Honestly, this particular managerial selection, this has to be it. You cannot stuff up anymore. I'm sorry. You cannot keep sacking and acquiring managers. You're going to run out of managers. You've now gone all the way down to championship to find managers. If it's Maresca, and I hope it is, if it's between Maresca and Thomas Frank, I hope it is Maresca. I still want Roberto De Zerbi, of course. But if it is Maresca, this is it. We're going to have to hold on to this guy. And we're going to have to back him. And I hope the owners, the board of directors, they fully back this guy. Because we screw up here, it's over for us. It's absolutely over for us. At this stage, I don't want to get angry or depressed anymore. There's bigger things in life than footy. This is just entertainment. Now pick someone and get it on with it. You're right, man. Thomas Frank will suit Chelsea. Oof. Oh my God. Imagine Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and all of these players under Thomas Frank. Nah, man. Cole Palmer under Thomas Frank. Wow. The footballing world is moving into a new era of coaches, young and up and coming. As much as I like seeing the change, I want Chelsea to be serious again. 100%, man. We need 100% need Chelsea to be serious. Shivendra, big up to you. If Kieran McKenna is not ready for the big step, then why is Enzo Maresca ready and liked by the hierarchy? Big comment here. Big comment here from Shivendra. What's the big difference? What's the difference between Enzo Maresca and Kieran McKenna? If anything, Kieran McKenna has been managing Ipswich for a little while. If anything, I think Kieran McKenna probably has a little bit more experience. It's a very, very good comment. What's the difference? We don't want Kieran McKenna to make the big step, but Enzo Maresca is ready. You're right. You're absolutely spot on, Shavendra. You're absolutely spot on. Alhambra, in the end, these other reporters wanted to reveal the mystery manager, but they won't get the scoop from Chelsea. Fab and Orny have not revealed it because they want the exclusive. Perhaps, but look, there might be a whole heap of politics that's happening behind the scenes from the journalistic point of view, and they probably already know the answer. Who knows? Who knows? This is all a bit of a game for all of these people. Abdul Miz, have you seen Hazard's comment on Poch departing and new manager incoming? TalkSports into. I have seen that. For all the people that hasn't seen that yet, let's go and check that out. It is on PYS's page. The video is there as well. Where is it? This guy tweets everything and he doesn't have this. He doesn't have the Eden Hazard one. There we go. Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard exclusive interview. A bit sad, to be fair, Poch. I think he did a great job. People want Chelsea to be top 4, but it was a season of transition. De Zerbi next manager? Maybe, but I also have a friend in Como Winks. Look, Eden, thank you so much for being the entertainer, but leave Cesc Fabregas alone. He's only the assistant manager there. Let him continue being the assistant manager at Como. There is no way he's ready to take up Chelsea's job. Like, you're kidding yourself. TRX Miz, no matter the manager, we will never have proper success again with these owners because they will never give the manager the players or profiles he needs. Yeah, look, I mean, the good thing about Maresca, if it is Enzo Maresca, the profile of players are already there. I feel more or less, maybe one or two players. Like, there is no way. I don't think he'll play Gallagher. There's no way he'll play these sort of players. The profile of players are more or less there. And at the end of the day, they want to bring in a manager that's not really going to have too much say. Don't forget, They don't want to bring a manager that's going to have too much say on transfer business. They don't want that. So Maresca is probably one of those individuals that's not really going to have too much say on who you're bringing in, who you're selling. He'll probably just get on with it. Whoever you've got, as long as it fits the philosophy, as long as it fits the playing style, then Enzo Maresca probably will be happy with that. So he's not going to kick up a fuss. Maresca is a Pep disciple, so the profile of players are already at the club. Yeah, I think the profile of players are already at the club. Miss, what if De Zerbi rejected us? Maybe he had demands. Who knows? Who knows? It is strange though that Ekbali likes Roberto De Zerbi. I mean, the news is, as you can see over here, Roberto De Zerbi, Ekbali struck by his personality. I mean, it is coming from Miguel Delaney, and it's not really coming from David Ornstein or Fabrizio. But Fabrizio lately has been talking about, he's been a bit funny. He's been a bit strange. Fabrizio has been trying to indirectly link De Zerbi to us. Secret Scout has been lingering around as well. So why is Fabrizio Romano doing that? I don't know. Maybe we're going to find a twist today. Who knows? Maybe we are going to find a twist today. For me, I don't know what to believe anymore, to be honest. When I saw that Iqbali is struck by De Zerbi's personality, because De Zerbi is not a yes man. How could you be struck by his personality? He's not even a yes man. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know anymore. It's crazy. Look, as long as there's no craziness with Thomas Frank, look, I think a lot of you guys will already accept Enzo Maresca. Let me put up the poll. Let me put up a poll. Who do you lot prefer as the next Chelsea manager? I'm going to put in a few names. Maresca. I'm going to put in Thomas Frank. And I'm going to put in Roberto De Zerbi. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Nearly 700 of you guys are live right now. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We've got quite a lot of people here live. Participate on the poll. I want to see what the majority of you guys are thinking about this. It's nearly 675 votes in, and we've already got over 70% of Roberto De Zerbi. So looks like Roberto De Zerbi might probably win that in a bit of a landslide. But yeah, Gaurav, if Thomas Frank becomes Chelsea manager, can we see Ivan Toney at Chelsea? Brother, look, I'm a little bit skeptical about Ivan Toney. I have to be honest. I mean, I think he's a good striker. There's no two ways about that. He's a very good striker. I'm just skeptical about the antics, the nonsense that he might get up to outside of football. His attitude is not the greatest. This guy's a bit of a loose cannon, you know. Honestly speaking, Ivan Toney is a bit of a loose cannon. He's for himself. Ivan Toney gives me Lukaku vibes, man. He really does give me Lukaku vibes. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, the worst part about is the Euros 8 going to interfere with preseason, with some key players missing. So new manager and a bad preseason. Pray for us. Yeah, look, we can't afford to have a bad preseason. I hear it. I fully understand the fact that there's a European competition. There's also Copa America. But we can't afford. We just cannot afford to have a bad preseason. We have to have a serious preseason. I hope the players don't take it as a holiday going to the United States. Thomas is saying it's all smokescreen. De Zerbi is going to be the Chelsea manager. I hope so. I truly, truly hope that is the case. Enzo Fernandez in the building, Miz. I'm with you in advocating for Roberto De Zerbi. He's the best in the bad bunch. Look, I don't even want to say best in the bad bunch, like as if he's a bad manager. I think Roberto De Zerbi is seriously a very good manager. And he's the type of manager, distinct style of football. a style of football that I think our players will enjoy. Our players need a lot of direction, a lot of organization, a lot of structure in their game, because it's all a bit too much of a freestyle basketball style of football that we saw under Pochettino. And that's not going to be sustainable in the long run. Our players need some level of structure. Now, Enzo Maresca will give you that as well. But I think Roberto De Zerbi, there's a lot more flair in his attack as well. There's a lot more flair. Now, I don't know about Enzo Maresca. I haven't watched Leicester, but the stats say that they've scored quite a lot of goals. They've conceded least amount of goals as well. So defensively, you do need stability. And that's one thing that we probably can't say about Roberto De Zerbi completely. Honestly, we can't say that, okay, defensively, Roberto De Zerbi has got it down packed. Enzo Maresca, albeit in the championship. And we've seen Vincent Kompany has won the championship and he's come to the Premier League, albeit Burnley, and that Burnley team was not good enough. And he got walloped. Enzo Maresca, it's not going to be the same thing. This Chelsea team is good enough. This Chelsea team finished sixth, and more than three quarters of the season, we were rubbish, and we still finished sixth. So you can tell the quality is there to get into the top four. So Enzo Maresca obviously will have a better team than Vincent Kompany with Burnley, but I still think the jump is a bit too much, man. Enoch, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Appreciate that. Serves, big up to you. Miss, do you know that Leicester would have had the 10th highest wage bill in the Premier League? See, this is the thing. This is the thing. It's a Premier League team already. That Leicester team should have smoked the championship. The fact that it only won by 1 point from Ipswich, it probably tells us more about Kieran McKenna and what a manager he is, perhaps. Do you know what I mean? If Chelsea restart the project, maybe they should play to win Conference League and earn automatic Europa League spot if we are not top 5 finishing. Yeah, man, incredible. Yeah. Maybe we should play in the Conference League. Look, I don't know, man. That competition is not worth it. I know what you're trying to say. We can play that, get it into Europa League. No, we shouldn't think like that. We should be trying to qualify for Champions League. And if we don't make it, then we should be aiming for 5th. That's an automatic Europa League. Let's not play Conference League to try and make it to Europa League, please. Look at the standards. Look at the standards, man. Look at our standards. It's crazy, huh? It is crazy. Roberto De Zerbi doesn't have that balance. There is always that thought of conceding goals. Maresca already knows what it takes to be a top club. He has seen it all before. He just needs his chance. I mean, does he need this chance, like a Chelsea chance? Shouldn't he try and work himself up, like after Leicester, perhaps go to a West Ham, perhaps go to a Wolves? Like, why Chelsea straight away? Like, that's what I just can't get over. 270 votes in, 71% for Roberto De Zerbi. I can't believe there's 10% that's going for Thomas Frank. You're not Chelsea fans. You cannot be Chelsea fans. Out of 272 votes, 10%, well, now 9%, 9% going for Thomas Frank. Oh my God. Oh my God. That in itself is a travesty, an absolute travesty, man. All right, let's see if there's anything latest in the news. Players are having a nice break. They're having a holiday, which is great. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to slowly wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take some few more comments. We'll wait for any other news to drop by. Enoch, big up to you. Robert De Zerbi playing style makes sense for me. Sometimes risky, but I love the transition play of his style, and I feel it might help most of our players with good IQ. 100%. 100%. I mean, look, Roberto De Zerbi also has players that he's worked with. Enzo Maresca also has players he's worked with. Enzo Maresca has Joe Shields that he's vouching for Maresca. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, before I let you guys go, Feroz and I will do a show around 10. That's 10 my time. 1 p.m. UK. 1 p.m. UK. Feroz and I will be doing a show on playback. If you guys haven't already become a member in our playback channel, please become a member. We will. We're going to do a live show there around 1 p.m. UK time. So be there. Make sure you guys are all subscribed to it. It's called Football TV. The link is in my community page, and the live stream will have members calling as well. So as the subscribers, you guys can request for a conversation, and you guys can tune in. This was the particular show we did late last night. So do give that a bit of a watch. But if you want to be there around 1 p.m. UK time, make sure you guys all subscribe to that. Let me see if I can let me provide you guys with the link. Make sure you guys all become subscribers of our playback channel, Football TV. Let me share that link with you guys. All right. All right. Make sure you guys subscribe to that. It's in the linked. It's in the messages. I've now pinned it as well. All of you guys, I want to see you guys there at 1 p.m. UK time. Make sure you guys are all there. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.